How's it going, YTPC family? I just want to start off by thanking all of you so much who have put their prayers out for my family and for my grandmother. Words cannot describe how thankful I am for all of you. We will be leaving Saturday for Wyoming, and we're just really hoping that she makes it to that point, to when we get there, because when things go to the brain, you never know. And so we're leaving as soon as we possibly can, and we're gonna try and get there as fast as we can. But I want to dedicate this video to my grandma Pat and talk about my life with her. Starting from when we were kids, you know, she always took care of us. She was like a stereotypical grandma that always was trying to feed you more than you could possibly eat. And I don't have many memory of like when I was super young, but I always remember going up to Wyoming. We would stay at her house, and they used to have a dairy farm, my grandfather and her. And then when my grandfather passed, they eventually sold the cows and turned it just into a hay farm. Excuse me. But as we grew older, anytime we go and visit her, she'd always slip us a 20 behind mom's back, just cause. And every birthday and Christmas, she sent us money for birthday and Christmas. And she was the kind of grandma that would help you out in any way possible. When I was working on our family farm, I would drive 20 hours from either Houston or about 16 something hours from Lubbock just up straight, and I would stop at her house in Wyoming at some point in the morning, because I always drove overnight to avoid traffic in Denver. And she'd just be like, she would make me breakfast. She'd be like, just stay for a few hours, take a nap. And she'd always slip me a 20. Every time, you know, she'd give me, but as I got older, the 20 was like for gas. And a few times when I was super low on gas, because I didn't stop at a decent time, she would let me fill up with the gas that was on the farm. But she was always there for us. And as she got older, the last time I saw my grandmother was at my brother's wedding about 4 years. How long has Griffin been married? 2.5 years ago. And she at that point in time, she was in fairly good condition. She kind of couldn't walk very well because she was kind of a fall risk. But she made it out to my brother's wedding, and it was great seeing them. Then on top of that, in the flight out from North Carolina, our gates are right next to each other. And since I always get to the airport early and they got to the airport early, I got to spend about 4 hours with them, just chatting it up about the wedding, about everything else. And before I forget, so just basic housekeeping, the Peterson that Slow-Mo Randy got me, it's filled with EMP, early morning pipe. I'm gonna light up. Just cheers. But once again, she was the stereotypical grandmother who would go out of her way to make sure you were comfortable, make sure you had it. And anytime I stopped at her place and it was around dinner time or I stayed overnight, she would always make my favorite spaghetti and meat sauce, and using fresh ground beef from their cattle farm. And I remember every night just watching game shows with her, because that's what every night she'd be watching the game show channel. So like Jeopardy and all those other shows that are on late at night. But she's a living legend in my eyes. Like, even from,
Did she do funny things at all?
what was that?
Did she ever do funny things?
Funny things?
Funny things.
I'm not sure about funny things. Sorry, my mom's camera shy, and so is my dad, so. But, oh, I guess the funny thing would be when we were younger, and my parents went, when we were living in Houston the first time, and my parents went out to North Carolina to go house hunting. She came in and she would always make chicken tetrazzini, which was just disgusting. I've only had it as a kid, so I don't know if my taste has developed and I would like it now or something, but I am scarred from chicken tetrazzini, of her making that and forcing us to sit at the table until we finished it. Do you have any stories you want to share? I'm putting you on the spot. Of course I'm putting you on the spot. But when I was at University of Wyoming, she drove about, how long is the drive from Cheyenne to Laramie?
Hour-ish, hour and a half, I don't know.
When I was at my first semester of college, after I dropped out of college to join the Army, she picked me up, and the night before, I got super drunk with the people who were still in the dorms for the final days of like exams. Super drunk, and I was just hungover to no extent, and I was trying to hide that from her, and I was just feeling sick as a dog, and trying to make conversation with her as we drove the hour from Laramie to Cheyenne. But once again, she was a grandmother that would do anything for you. When I was at University of Wyoming, she would make the trip up and come buy me groceries so I would have actual food, not just, the food that was at the Washakie Dining Center, and like snacks and stuff like that. And for essentially most of our life, she was our only grandmother. Our family is really small, and like I don't have I don't have like a very large family, and we've always all been very spread out, or at least my family has been spread out. On my mom's side, the family has all stayed relatively together, but we have always been the ones that have been, across the country or something. Let me know if you think of something you want to tell the good people of the YTPC, Mom. But
Did you say something to me?
Yeah, I said, let me know if you
Well, the only thing I can think of right this second in my high brain was when Grandma tried to teach me how to cook a grilled cheese. She was outside cleaning out the area where the foxes had tore up all the ashes and dust. So she's trying to relate to me how to make a grilled cheese. But what she didn't relate is you put the other piece of bread on top before you turn the grilled cheese.
Okay, my mom's story was when she was younger, she was being taught how to make a grilled cheese. And since my grandmother was out dealing with where the foxes had dug up a flower bed, apparently she didn't relay the information to my mom that you're supposed to put a second slice of bread on top of where the cheese is. So I assume she just flipped the grilled cheese over onto the cheese side and made a mess. Is that accurate? So I just have a lot of good memories of my grandmother. I don't have any negative ones. I'd always, when she was living in Cheyenne, anytime I went up there, I would go clean out the gutters because her and her husband at the time were too old to, get up on a ladder, clean out the gutters because they lived under some trees. And I was the only one in my lineage of them to go out and work on the farm. In my first year going out there, she told me, if it ever gets too hard for you, don't worry. You can always come back here and no one would think any lesser of you. And I was like, I got this, Grandma. I was in the Army. I have been deployed. I can work on a farm. And I pulled it off. I went mentally insane that year just by coincidence, but I worked through it. And yeah. But she's always been a people pleaser. Anytime I went up there, she would, if I was there for a few days, she would take us out to dinner to the Ribbon Shop in either Cheyenne or Sheridan, which is like a steakhouse. No matter what, we always went to Ribbon Shop if she didn't make spaghetti and meat sauce. My mom just said she hates the Ribbon Shop because we always went there so much. It's a good place. We just went there a lot. But
Not good no more.
it's not good no more.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, it used to be better. But I haven't been to Wyoming in about 4 years. Probably longer than that, actually.
Are you gonna sleep down at Kevin's by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You feel comfortable sleeping at Kevin's
Yeah. I already asked him.
by yourself?
What do you mean about myself?
Well, if Finney's not there yet, we're gonna get there before Finney.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Where else would I stay?
Well, when we first get there, if Grandma's not at home, then Daddy and I'll sleep in her room, and you can sleep in the other room. And then when Finney gets there, then you would move to Kevin's, and Carissa would take that room.
Well, I don't think. Are we gonna be there when me and Dad are still gonna be there when Finney gets there?
I think so. They're coming to 6 and 7.
Yeah, but we're only staying like 2 or 3 days.
Well, I don't know. I don't.
Sorry, we're dealing with logistics of since the cancer spread from wherever it started, it spread to her lungs. And then we just yesterday found out it spread to her brain. And so all the logistics, we were originally going to go up in April to see her, and now we're trying to work out all the logistics between my brother and his wife who live in North Carolina and my older sister who lives in New York, and trying to get everyone over there as fast as possible. And instead of all of us being there all at the same time, we're going to kind of be staggered a little bit. But I want to celebrate her life. I don't want to be sad when she passes, because when I pass, I want people to celebrate my life, not to mourn me.
We'll have a party.
Yeah, exactly, have a party.
And don't wear black.
Don't wear black. I want people to celebrate the things I've done, the things I've done for them. Because, I don't want a funeral. I want a party. Like one last, the going away party, essentially. And that's how I want to remember my grandmother when she passes. I want to remember the good things about her, because there weren't many bad things. I can't even think of, other than the chicken tetrazzini, I can't think of a bad thing about my grandmother. She worked hard her entire life, and she always helped out everyone whenever they needed it, in multiple ways. All my cousins up there, me, everybody. She was one of the kindest people you ever meet. Always the hub of gossip in town. She always knew the gossip of everybody. She knew everybody. And that was my grandmother. Do you have anything to add before I end this?
Peace, Patricia. She always got mad at my peace sign.
She always got mad at my mom throwing up a peace sign, so she just said peace, Patricia. But while there will be, I probably won't be there for the what's it called? The funeral, due to my limitations on being able to fly.
Well, we could still drive.
We would still drive up.
Yeah, I mean, the funeral, they make it, you don't do it right away. You give it like a week or so people can have a chance to get there.
Okay, so there is a possibility I will be able to make it to the funeral. But me and my mom, at least, and probably our cousins, are gonna party. We're gonna celebrate her life and not mourn her, because she's going with God. At least that's what I believe. And she's not dead yet, but she's still alive. But I know that she's going with God, and she has lived a very fulfilling life. I hope she sees that, and I really hope that all of my family is able to get there in time to see her and say goodbye. So thank you guys for listening to me. I'm going to continue to have this smoke and continue to pray, and thank you guys all so much. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and just looked through like 20 comments of people sending their prayers to me and my grandmother and my family for a safe trip and everything. You guys are just awesome. I'm going to still try and do the giveaway results on Sunday. It depends on what time we get into Wyoming. I may delay it a day. I'm still going to cut off the video on Sunday, but I may announce the results on Monday. And since I'm going to be gone, I'm just going to order a new tin off of a website and have it delivered to you. And I'll just keep that tin for another future giveaway. Maybe at a lower mark than 500 when I'm giving away a pipe, or maybe I'll give away the pipe with the tobacco. I have no idea, but I'm probably gonna just go onto a website. And I think since even if you're international, I think some of the websites will allow you to ship tobacco since they're from a dealer or whatever. But that's something we're still gonna, if you're international, we're still gonna have a chat about what the best course of action is. So thank you, everybody. God bless you all, and have a great day. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.